With the growing oil crisis globally, the rising prices of oil globally, we need to understand that geopolitics of oil is a very important topic that we have covered in a separate video, specifically important for those appearing for UPSC optional. Coming on to oil marketing companies in India and their role. Now, the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, under its marketing division, has three retail outlets for oil providing in India. Those are the Indian Oil, Hindustan Petroleum and Bharat Petroleum. All of these three have their retail outlets which provide oil and petroleum to the customers like you and me, as well as the bulk customers who already have their signed contracts. So these companies, actually the three oil marketing companies, have the right to determine the market price. Actually, the market price is determined by the international market. However, sometimes there is a cap or a freeze on the price. We would understand that, let's talk about 2008. So what happened in 2008 was an unprecedented rise in the oil prices. Now, since there was a significant rise in the oil prices, what government did was government asked that the price impact should not go to the customers, and therefore there was a temporary cap that was brought, and this brought in a period of huge under recoveries. Now, a lot of under recoveries were either held through the companies, were borne by the companies themselves, or they were transferred as issuing bonds or price discounts. So those were some of the period of under recovery which the companies are still struggling with. However, at that time, private refineries were not allowed to do so. Now, understanding that all these three companies have been listed in Fortune 500, one of the major companies in India for deciding the oil. But these oil marketing companies, which have this division of oil marketing companies, the role of this division is to actually find out the retail stations where the petrol pump can be established, the guidelines for its allotment, the revival, the recoveries, the acquisitions, and any kind of corporate social responsibility needs to be taken into account. Now, we have seen that in 1990s, government brought certain policy. One of the important policy was that if any company, the idea was to bring in private investment in India. So any private company, if it is ready to invest rupees $20 billion in India, or if I talk in terms of dollar, it is $400 million. If the company is ready to spend that amount in India for exploration, for production, then that company would have the marketing rights. So it could be a private company which could also get a marketing right in India. So in order to get this marketing right, that was the minimum requirement from a foreign company in India. As we believe that government has has been controlling the price mechanism of oil in one form or the other, it's important to note that government still does not allow free market mechanisms to determine the price, and the idea is the burden should not be transferred over to the customers directly. So this is the basis for the oil marketing company. The basic idea, be it the public or the private, is the marketing division of these oil companies, actually the oil marketing companies, focus on bringing the price regulations. Recently in 2021-2022, the initial phase, there was a freeze on the oil prices. That also is cited as one of the reasons for under recoveries, because these companies are running huge losses and are now not ready to actually bring the pricing at a rate which has been predetermined. So there has been this conflict that is going on. However, if we talk about internationally, some of the major oil companies, here is the list of top 10 oil companies, of which 2 of them belong to China, and the recent lockdown in China is again affecting the oil price surge. So those are some of the reasons which have cited for the rising prices and pushing up the rate of inflation.